no angel.
Mae West died this week at the age of 88. In tribute to her, we decided to rebroadcast a program made by John West 2 years ago about her life. Mae West, the woman once described as the greatest sensation since the talkies.
Thrill me like a midnight breeze. Don't care how you do it, babe, just so you please. Take my kisses till your weary heart's at ease. I'm no angel. Oh, let me feel your fingers running through my hair. I can give you kisses till you walk on air. Love me, honey, love me till I just don't care. I'm no angel. I'll take your blues, stomp down your troubles, rock you with a steady roll. Here's your donation, take my affection, you're mine away to know. Oh, let me have you now before the night is gone. Come on, flag this joint so we can carry on. I can make it heaven while the shades are drawn. I'm no angel, believe me.
I'm No Angel, from the film of the same title of 1933. That description, the greatest sensation since the talkies, comes from a British film periodical of 1934, when Mae was at the peak of her movie career. The Film Lovers Annual goes on to say, despite the lurid nature of her screen character, she is, in private life, one of Hollywood's model citizens. She neither drinks nor smokes and never goes to parties. But human nature being what it is, the lurid nature of her screen character caused a sensation. The femme fatale Mae portrayed was really a caricature. Flamboyant, vulgar, mocking, overdressed, and yet endearing. A woman of easy morals, with a ready wit and a toughness that no man could either resist or counter. She liked men and let them know it, but she preferred diamonds. Mae's first appearance in film says it all. She sidled onto the screen, loaded down with jewels, and the hat-check girl said, "Goodness, what beautiful diamonds." Goodness had nothing to do with it, came the reply, and that was the title she gave to her very entertaining autobiography, which was published in 1959. In that book, as already mentioned, she admits to a birth date, 1893, in Brooklyn, New York. Her father, John Patrick West, was a prize fighter who encouraged his daughter's bent for showing off. Her mother, Matilda Dolger West, was an immigrant from Bavaria, who before her marriage had been a corset and fashion model. At the age of 7, after a few dancing lessons, Mae started doing a song and dance routine in amateur talent contests, which she usually won. At 8, she joined a theatrical stock company directed by a man named Hal Clarendon. It was based at the Gotham Theatre in Brooklyn, and for 3 years she played all the famous kid parts. She started a stage career as the baby vamp, an auspicious beginning indeed.
Sugar daddy with plenty sweets for me, but now I've got a regular guy who loves me constantly. Give me my bracelets and load me down. I found a new way to go to town. I always love to be in bright lights. My streets are paved with gold. I found myself a new kind of man. He's mine to have and hold. I'm in my glory when he's around. taught me a new way to go to town. I'm high, I'm low. Takes a good man to make me. No man can shake me until I let him go. That feeling's oh so grand. Bring me my fine furs and fancy gowns. I found a new way to go to town.
I found a new way to go to town, another song from the 1933 Paramount picture, I'm No Angel. But at 14, Mae still had a long way to go on the road to Hollywood. And 14 was her age when she entered the national vaudeville circuit, where she met and teamed up with a song and dance man named Frank Wallace. They were secretly married on April the 11th, 1911, but they broke up almost immediately. She was then 17, he 21. In her autobiography, she wrote, "This one weird experience with matrimony made me respect the institution. I knew that I'd broken a promise, a bargain, a contract. If I were to get into the habit of doing that, my word would not be worth the breath that spoke it in any other agreement." And she goes on, "I have never knowingly allowed a married man to form an attachment with me. One look at a wedding ring and I give him a very stiff-armed, how do you do?" It was 6 months after her wedding that Mae West made her Broadway debut in A la Broadway and Hello, Paris. It was a review which opened at the Fulton Theatre on September the 22nd, 1911. Her singing of dialect and ragtime songs, together with her acrobatic dancing, drew the best notices in the show. Recalling that time, Mae wrote, "At 18, I was a hit in a big Broadway show. I had half a star's dressing room, and I wasn't satisfied. There was a lot more I wanted to try. And the gentlemen lined up at the stage door and the dressing room with big bouquets made a jungle of hothouse flowers from hothouse males." By 1915, with the war raging in Europe, Mae, unlike traditional vaudeville performers, was continually striving to improve her act. Most performers stuck with the same material for years. She was already in the habit of changing or embellishing what was written for her by others. And now she wrote her first song, The Cave Girl, which she delivered in a leopard skin costume. The words go, "A wise old owl in a tree so high, he taught me how to wink my eye. I learned to bill and coo from a turtle dove, and a grizzly bear taught me how to hug. But the guy that lived 2 caves from me taught me how to love."
Frankie and Johnny were lovers, long gone, but how they could love. Swore they'd be true to each other, true as the stars above. He was a man, and he was doing her wrong. Frankie went round the corner to get a bucket of beer. Said to the man, call the bartender, "Have you seen my Johnny here? He's my man, and I loves him so. I ain't gonna tell you no stories, I ain't gonna tell you no lies. Saw your man Johnny leave about an hour ago with that gal named Nellie Bly. He's your man, and he's doing you wrong." Frankie went round and had a hop joint, brought along a great big 44. She wanted to sign was a man, and he was doing her wrong. Oh, turn me over, Frankie, turn me over slow. Turn me over, I'm a right, said Frankie. Why did you shoot so low? Was my man, and you done me wrong. Rubber-tired coaches, rubber-tired hacks is gonna take my man to the graveyard and never gonna bring him back. He was my man, and it done me wrong. Bring on your million policemen, bring on your million jails. Blow the key to the St. Louis River, nobody's gonna go on my bail. He was my man, and it done me wrong.
That was a late recording of Frankie and Johnny, a song she sang originally in Diamond Lil, the huge Broadway success of 1928, which Mae herself wrote, produced, and directed. But the first play she wrote came 2 years earlier, in 1926. Daringly entitled Sex, it opened at Daly's Theatre in Manhattan on April the 26th. Mae played the central role of Margie Lamont, a waterfront prostitute who has to overcome various obstacles in order to reform. It was a sensational success, despite the refusal of New York newspapers to carry ads for it. Sex ran 375 performances. It was such a hit, they were getting $10 for orchestra seats in the first 6 rows, at a time when $2.80 was the top price for dramatic shows. But after its 375th performance, the police, acting under pressure from the Society for the Suppression of Vice, closed the play. Arrested and brought to trial, Mae West was found guilty of corrupting the morals of youth, on the testimony of an arresting officer, that she had moved her navel up and down and from right to left in a belly dance. She served 8 days in the New York City prison. But censorship didn't deter Miss West. She just learned how far she could go. Her next play, called The Drag, has been described by her as a drama that treated seriously the problems of a homosexual and showed how his abnormal tendencies brought disaster to his family, his friends, and himself. It stated, she went on, that an intelligent understanding of the problems of all homosexuals by society could avert such social tragedies. On the advice of Jim Timoney, a lawyer and close friend who'd spoken with New York City officials, Mae decided not to take the show across the river into Manhattan after its 2-week run in Paterson, New Jersey. Her third play, The Wicked Age, was a comic expose of rigged bathing beauty contests. Although it was a box office success, Mae closed it after 2 weeks because of friction with the leading man. But of course the greatest success to come to her was in Diamond Lil, a gay 90s comic melodrama set in New York's Bowery. Produced by Jack Linder, it was first staged at Teller's Schubert Theatre in Brooklyn during the first week of April 1928. Mae played the title role, that of a saloon singer. She was a smash hit, and it netted her almost $500,000 in royalties and salary. The line that entered most deeply into the public's memory was her invitation to a Salvation Army captain. Come up and see me sometime.
Takes his time, I'll go for any time. I'm a fast-moving gal, I'd like some slow. Got no use for fancy driving, wanna see a guy arriving in low. I'd be satisfied, electrified, to know a guy what takes his time. A hurry-up affair, I always give the air. Wouldn't give any Russian gentle smile. I could go for any singer who would condescend to linger a while. But a lullaby would be supplied to have a guy what takes his time. Oh, a guy what takes his time. I'll go for any time. A hasty job really spoils a master's touch. I don't like a big commotion. I'm a demon for slow motion or such. Why should I deny that I would die to know a guy what takes his time? There isn't any fun in getting something done if you're rushed when you have to make the grade. I can spot an amateur, appreciate a connoisseur at his trade. Who would qualify no alibi to be the guy what takes his time? Oh,
A Guy What Takes His Time, from the 1933 Paramount picture She Done Him Wrong, the screen version of Diamond Lil. In her autobiography, Mae wrote this about the show. With Diamond Lil, I had it made. Through the years, people have come to think of my characterization of Lil as my other self. Sometimes, somewhere, I recall, someone quoted me as saying, "Diamond Lil, I'm her and she's me and we're each other." I hope I was not so ungrammatical, but however I said it, I spoke at least a partial truth. In her various incarnations, play, novel, motion picture, Lil and I have been one. From here on, Lil and I, in my various characterizations, climbed the ladder of success wrong by wrong. When Diamond Lil ended its Broadway run in January 1929, Mae took the play on a national tour, and in 1930 she toured with a revival of Sex. And all the time she continued to write, and all the time Hollywood crept nearer. Her career in film began, in fact, at a comparatively advanced age. She finally signed with Paramount in 1932, after the Depression made investment in the theater precarious. She was wary of going to Hollywood, but Broadway was in trouble, so she decided to take the plunge. Unlike other stars whose image is built for them in the studios, she took into films the style she'd perfected in some 30 years on the stage and refused to modify it. George Raft was behind the offer from Paramount. He wanted her for Night After Night, a speakeasy drama, and because of her notoriety, she was offered $5,000 a week for 10 weeks, an incredible sum for a part which gave her only fourth billing. As soon as she saw the script, she lost interest, but finally agreed to stay only if she could write her own lines. Raft said afterwards, "In this picture, Mae West stole everything but the cameras." Paramount begged her to stay, and she agreed on condition that the next film would be Diamond Lil. Because of the show's notoriety, the studio insisted on a new title, She Done Him Wrong. Made in 1933, the film broke box office records in practically every key city in the United States and attendance records throughout the world. It was her first starring picture and one of her finest films.
Ever since Miss Susan Johnson, she lost her Jackie Lee, there's been much excitement and more to be. You can hear her moaning from early morn. I wonder where my easy rider's gone. I wonder where my easy rider's gone. I wonder where my easy rider's gone. If he was here, he'd win the race. If not first, he'd get a place. I never saw that jockey trailing anyone. drinking pond to bet on any horse that Jackie's on. Oh, I wonder where my easy rider's gone. I wonder where my easy rider's gone. He went and put my brand new watch in pawn. I see him coming around that turn, on a trail that man can burn. He's got to win because my dough is on the nose. Just once that jockey's a riding style, he'll hit that home stretch when I'm by a mile. I want him to win this spree, keep it going till he comes for me. Oh, I wonder where my easy rider's gone.
From the film She Done Him Wrong, for which, by the way, Mae West chose her own leading man. From the ranks of handsome young men who are not making it in Hollywood, she picked out someone who went on to become a screen legend in his own right. Cary Grant, of course. Here they are together in an excerpt from the soundtrack of Mae's subsequent film success, also made in 1933, I'm No Angel.
Honey, I wonder if you realize just how much you mean to me. I've never been so happy in my life.
You mean that?
I guess love is a wonderful thing.
Yes, I've heard it highly praised. No one could be half as nice as I know. What have you done to me? You're simply grand. What has it done today? You worked your spell on me. I'll make your demand. I want you, I need you. Your love must be mine, oh baby, baby. Have you, baby? Paradise divine.
Move over, honey, and don't stop.
Never stop. Want you, need you, to call you my own. To have you, baby. Paradise I know. Please, won't you believe me?
Darling,
Your
you
moonlight.
can never guess how much I love you.
I never guess. You gotta show me.
Just give me the chance.
You get it. To have you.
I could be your slave.
Well, I guess that could be arranged. What have you done to me? You're simply grand.
What have you done to me?
You ought to know. I'll make your demand. I want you, need you. Your love must be mine, oh baby, baby. To have you would be paradise. What are you gonna do about it, huh?
I Want You, I Need You, from the film I'm No Angel. Those two films of 1933 made Mae the biggest box office attraction of the year and saved Paramount Pictures from being forced to sell out to MGM. I'm No Angel also gave Mae the opportunity to fulfill her secret lifelong ambition to tame lions. In the film, she portrays a torrid sideshow queen, Tyra, who becomes the sweetheart of high society as a lion tamer with a circus. A girl who lost her reputation but never missed it.
Right this way, ladies and gentlemen, it's Tyra, the dancing marvel of the age. It's not a dance of the hands or the feet, but a dance of the midway. Why, she shows discretion to the winds, and her hips north, east, south, and west. Why, look at those eyes. Why, the eyes. Boys, it's that hard. Oh, baby, look at that.
I'm free and easy, my life's my own. I come and go as I please. Just look me over, say I'm plenty known. I take what I want or refuse. I've got the face of a saint, on the level it ain't pain. So beware of these eyes, I'm a devil in disguise. And they call me Sister Honky Tonk. but dirty. They call me Sister Honky Tonk. Oh, baby. Oh, do you follow me, boys? No wise back now.
Wrap it up and take it home with you, boys. What a movement. What a movement.
Do I make myself clear, boys?
It's that clear. You're telling me.
Boys, you know you're only human. Give yourself a break, come on this way. I'm not looking for a true man. All you need's a price, come on and pay. I walk and talk like a queen. Man, that's just what I mean. If you buy or sell, it's a love trip too well. And they call me Sister Honky Tonk. I gotta scram now. They call me Sister Honky Tonk. Oh, baby. Oh, come up and see me sometime. Oh, they call me Sister Honky Tonk.
In 1934, Belle of the 90s, Mae West's fourth picture for Paramount, gave her yet another opportunity to sidle around in the feathers and sequins that had become her trademark, devouring every man in sight. It was an era of slender, boyish women, but Mae had adopted the flamboyant costumes of the 90s to emphasize her risque plots and dialogue. She was indeed mistress of the double entendre. Remember such gems as, "It's not the men in my life that count, it's the life in my men." Or, "It's better to be looked over than overlooked." Or again, "Opportunity knocks for every man, but give a woman a ring." Recall her reaction, "I used to be Snow White, but I drifted." And finally, "I always say keep a diary, and one day it'll keep you." But that year, 1934, the Legion of Decency was formed, and panic measures were taken by the studio to tone down her racy style. Klondike Annie of 1936 even made her a reformed character at the end of the film. Mae realized that her popularity would suffer with this watering down of her particular talents, so she decided to resume her stage and cabaret appearances. At the time, she was earning the highest salary of any Hollywood star, $300,000 per picture, with an additional $100,000 for story or scenario, and her name had become a national household word. It was around this time that she made what was to be her last live radio appearance for some 30 years. As it was, she made few radio appearances over the years, but this particular one on the Edgar Berg and Charlie McCarthy show in December 1937 made history. It was a satire on the Adam and Eve story. Don Amici played Adam, Mae West was Eve. The way the sketch read in script form and the way it was interpreted on air were two very different things. It may seem mild by today's standards, but at the time complaints were received from all over the country, and the NBC censors were up in arms. Her radio career came to an abrupt end. Listen now, and judge for yourselves.
Listen, tall, tan, and tired. It's time I told you a thing or two. Ever since creation, I've done nothing but playing double solitaire. It's disgusting. It's got me down.
Well, we've got a nice place here.
That's the trouble. It's too nice.
Well, I'm not complaining.
But I want something to happen. A little excitement, a little adventure. A girl's got to have a little fun once in a while. There's no future under a fig tree.
Now, come on, woman. Be like me. Why don't you relax and just take it easy?
Because I'm a lady of big ideas. Now, tell me the low-down truth. Ain't there any way you can break our lease?
Well, yes, there is. But I won't tell you.
No?
No, this is paradise. Free light, free heat, free meals. What else could a man want? Answer me that.
I got a couple of good ideas if you'll tell me how to break the lease.
No, I won't do it.
Oh, Adam.
What?
Come on over here.
What for, to hold hands?
Oh, that old game? Can't you think of something new? You know nothing about nothing.
Oh, yes, I do. I know more than you do, woman.
Oh, what, for instance?
I know all about the tree.
What tree, man? What tree?
That apple tree in the middle of the garden. The lease says that if we eat any of its fruit, we get thrown out of here.
Oh, now, is that a fact?
Sure, that's why there's a fence around it. I tell you, one bite of those apples and we get a dispossess.
How fascinating. Adam, you can hold my hand now.
No, I got a better idea.
Oh, yeah? I'm listening. I'm waiting. What are you going to do now?
I think I'll go fishing.
Oh. How disgusting.
Now, wait a minute. You can't talk to me that way. Do you realize I'm man number one?
Yeah, but I am number one man.
Well, I'll see you around supper time. I'll be back.
Oh, so that's the trouble. So it's a tree over there. Hello, tree. How would you like to do a little lease breaking for a woman with ideas, Not room enough to squeeze through those slats for a woman of my personality. Now, if I only knew someone skinny enough.
Salutations,
Oh,
Mrs. Eve.
if it isn't Mr. Snake. Hello, long, dark, and slinky.
Mrs. Eve, why are you standing by that tree?
Stop wiggling and I'll tell you. Listen, I know you don't approve, but I've got a little proposition to make.
I certainly refuse to listen. What is it?
Do you think with the proper provocation you could squeeze through that fence around the tree?
That's the forbidden tree.
Oh, don't be technical. Answer me this, my palpitating python. Would you like to have this whole paradise to yourself?
Certainly.
Okay, then pick me a handful of fruit. Adam and I'll eat it. And the Garden of Eden is all yours. What do you say?
Sounds all right. But it's forbidden fruit.
Listen, what are you, my friend in the grass or a snake in the grass?
But forbidden fruit.
Are you a snake or are you a mouse?
I'll do it.
Now you're talking. Here, right in between those pickets.
I'm stuck.
Oh, shake your hips. There, now you're through.
I shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, but you're doing all right. Now get me a big one. I feel like doing a big apple.
Eve? Where are you, Eve?
Waiting, my love. Just waiting.
Hello, Eve. What have you been doing?
Me? Oh, I've just been making a little history.
Huh?
The first woman to make a monkey out of a snake.
Say, how about supper? And don't tell me we got fig stew again.
Oh, no. Something new, so help me. Something new. Here, have a bite of this.
Well, what is it?
A new kind of sauce. It's good for you. No, wait. Before you eat, answer me this. Are you going to take me out of this dismal dump and give me a chance to develop my personality?
Oh, Eve, are you going to start that over again?
No, I'm going to end it. Eat your sauce, big boy, and hold your hat if you got one.
Oh, say, this is darn good sauce. Where did you find it? Oh, my head. What happened to me?
We've been dispossessed.
But why?
Forbidden apple sauce.
Oh, Eve, what have you done?
I've just made a little more history, that's all. I'm the first woman to have her own way, and a snake will take the rap for it.
But, Eve, we've lost the Garden of Eden. We're just... Eve, it's as if I see you for the first time. You're beautiful.
And you fascinate me.
Your eyes.
Oh, tell me more.
Your lips. Come closer. I want to hold you closer. I want to...
You want to what?
Eve, what was that?
That was the original kiss.
After that broadcast in 1937, the Manhattan College magazine launched this attack. West was, they said, the very personification of sex in its lowest connotation, polluting the sacred precincts of homes with shady stories, foul obscenity, smutty suggestions, and horrible blasphemy. Despite such a reputation, Mae West's private life in Hollywood was very quiet. She was living with her brother Jack and sister Beverly in an apartment house. She rarely went out and did most of her writing sitting up in bed. She recalled the time in her memoirs, saying, "More and more I tried to keep away from the Hollywood round of sterile pleasures and just try and brighten a private corner where my friends and I were living our own lives. But it was hard to fight a legend, and few people knew that I didn't always walk around with a hand on one hip or pushing at my hairdress and talking low and husky. I had created a kind of 20th century sex goddess that mocked and delighted all victims and soldiers of the great war between men and women. I was their banner, and I certainly enjoyed the work." Mae always considered her own private attitude to sex and love as normal and healthy. She once said that she never kept a journal of her emotional life. She wasn't interested in the score, only the game. In her own words, "I have only done openly what comes naturally, what the average American does secretly, drenching himself in guilt fixations and phobias because of his sense of sinning. I have never felt myself a sinner."
Havana, all those tropical nights. Oh, what was his name? Oh, yes, I remember now. Oh, and he sang to me.
This is my song of sin.
Sin? Oh, come closer, dear. You interest me.
Yo no sé si este amor es pecado que tiene castigo.
Oh, this guy's got something solid.
Todas las leyes honradas del hombre y de Dios.
Oh, this is sin. You're in like Flynn.
No sé que me aturde la vida como un torbellino.
Oh, amigo, qué locura de
Que me
amor.
arrastra y me arrastra a tus brazos en ciega pasión.
Oh, they not only send you, they bring you back for more.
Que mi vida, mi querer y mi sí.
Oh, sin to me, dear, sin to
Es
me.
más fuerte que todo el respeto y el miedo hacia Dios. Aunque sea pecado, te quiero lo mismo.
Yes, I believe I will. Move over.
Porque a veces de tanto quererte me olvido de Dios.
Now, there's a horizontal note if I ever heard one.
Es más fuerte que yo, que mi vida, mi querido y mi sí.
Oh, yes, you gotta get the feel of this thing.
Es más fuerte que todo el respeto y el miedo hacia Dios.
I know, dear, into music, too.
Aunque sea pecado, te quiero lo mismo.
Yes, pecado, sí que pecando. Oh, what am I saying?
Porque a veces de tanto quererte me olvido de Dios.
Oh, this is the end. Oh, don't be a stranger. Remember, I'm just across the border.
Tito Corral singing about sin to Mae West. Since 1937, Mae West has made only occasional films. My Little Chickadee in 1940, The Heat's On in 1943, when for the first time on screen she was not in the fashions of the 90s, and she regretted it. And then, nearly 30 years later, she made Myra Breckenridge in 1970. My Little Chickadee deserves further mention. In the film, a mock western, Mae West is Flower Belle Lee, a woman of bad reputation, who, to gain respectability, enters into a marriage, which is never consummated, with Cuthbert J. Twilley, a fly-by-night card sharp and snake oil salesman, played by W.C. Fields. They were supposed to have collaborated on the script, but Fields was non-cooperation personified. Probably the truth is that they were both stars too great in their own right to work successfully together. But still, despite some adverse criticism, it was one of the great comic teamings of all time, and together they created a classic. Later, Mae wrote of W.C. Fields, "There's no one quite like Bill, and it would be snide of me to add, thank God. A great performer. My only doubts about him come in bottles."
Who's that vision of loveliness up there?
Pardon me.
Nice day.
Is it?
Of course, it's only one man's opinion. May I present my card?
Novelties and notions. What kind of notions you get?
You'd be surprised. Some are old, some are new. Whom have I the honor of addressing, milady?
They call me Flower Bell.
Flower Bell, what a euphonious appellation. Easy on the ears and a banquet for the eyes.
Kind of cute yourself.
Thank you. I never argue with a lady.
Smart boy.
Thank you again. I understand you need a cicerone, Guy.
I need more than that, honey.
What symmetrical digits. Soft as the fuzz on a baby's arm.
Quick on the trigger.
Yes. May I present you with a little amulet that I received from Aga Khan when I was in the Himalayas? It's just a little thing. The Aga and I were very good friends.
Oh, what a pretty sentiment.
A lonesome heart. That's what I am. It is not good for man to be alone.
It's no fun for a woman either.
Is it possible for us to be lonesome together?
Quite possible.
I will be all things to you. Father, mother, husband, counselor, Japanese, bartender.
You're offering quite a bundle, honey.
My heart is a bargain today. Will you take me?
I'll take you in. How?
I am the happiest mortal alive. Miss Flower Bell has consented to be my lawfully wedded wife.
Well, of course, this is rather unusual for me, but under the circumstances, I'll officiate.
We'll need a ring. I think I have one here that will fit. And let's see. It's the fourth digit of the left hand. I can have a little goose grease with me. Perfect.
Yes. Guess that'll do the trick.
Shall we commence? Now, do you, Flower Bell Lee? I now pronounce you man and wife.
Big Chief got a new squaw? New is right. She hasn't been unwrapped yet.
Mae West and W.C. Fields together in the film My Little Chickadee. The peak of her career now over, during the early 40s, Mae was preoccupied with court action relating to her marriage to Frank Wallace, the marriage that had remained a secret until reported in the press in 1935. Wallace filed 2 suits for alimony, and Miss West filed a cross-complaint in which she asked for a divorce. Her request was granted by interlocutory decree. In the late 40s, she starred in stage revivals of Diamond Lil in London and New York. And in the 50s, she toured the United States with a nightclub act in which she was surrounded by young muscle men in loincloths. 2 of the young men publicly came to blows in a Washington nightclub, reportedly in a dispute over the affections of Miss West, then in her 60s. It was in 1966 that she recorded an album called Way Out West, a rock and roll collection including songs by Bob Dylan, John Lennon, and Paul McCartney. Let's hear how she handled that sort of material.
When you move in right up close to me, that's when I get the shakes all over me. tremors in my thigh bone, shaking all over. Just the way you say goodnight to me brings that feeling on inside of me. Quivers down my backbone, I got the shakes down my knee bone, tremors in my thigh bone, shaking all over.
Johnny Kidd's Shaken All Over, given the Mae West treatment. That was Mae in the 60s. And in the 70s, she's still going strong. She appeared in Gore Vidal's sex-change comedy Myra Breckinridge in the year 1970. Raquel Welch had the title role, but Mae West had top billing. Apparently, Miss Welch was no more pleased about this than about the clause in Miss West's contract which gave her the exclusive right to wear black or white. Variety commented that West's $350,000 for 10 days' work, plus writing her own dialogue, was worth every cent in publicity to the studio. Mae's reasons for returning to the screen in 1970 were never disclosed. They were probably not financial. She has extensive real estate holdings in the San Fernando Valley and lives either in her 22-room beach house near Santa Monica or on her ranch or in her suite at the Ravenswood Apartments in Hollywood. Those, by the way, were the apartments that Paramount rented for her when she first came to Hollywood, and she's kept them on ever since. A year after Myra Breckinridge, Mae made a guest appearance on an American Forces Radio Service Christmas show. Frank Breezy, the show's presenter, described her as bright, witty, extremely charming, and above all, the sexiest woman I've ever met. Here's an excerpt from that program.
Mae, welcome to our show.
It's nice to be here. Oh, I like the way the studio's constructed. Come to think of it, I like the way you're constructed, too.
Well, it's just light construction.
Oh, well, turn the light off.
Do you have a wish for all the fellas listening?
You mean all those strong, healthy, able-bodied men?
Yes.
I just hope they'll stay strong, healthy, and able-bodied.
You know, this show does reach millions of servicemen. That's just a round figure.
Oh, please, let's not talk of figures unless it's mine.
Very well, then. What do you think of our men in uniform?
I like men in uniform, but personally, I prefer a man out of uniform. The faster, the better.
Well, you know, there's a kind of uniform for women in America at this moment. I'm sure you're aware of the great controversy over the midi, the mini, and the maxi dresses.
Oh, I've heard of it. In fact, I wear them myself.
Then, Mae, would you call yourself a liberated woman?
I never call myself.
Well, let me put it another way. What do you think of the woman's liberation movement?
Oh, I'm for it. I'm for any movement.
Well, you know the servicemen that are now hearing your voice are on active duty.
Well, that's the best kind of duty.
And they're stationed halfway around the world. Right now, for instance, we're being heard in many foreign lands. Do you speak any foreign language?
Yes, I speak 2 languages, English and Bawdy.
Well, I think a lot of our servicemen speak Bawdy English, too. It's sort of an international language. By the way, what do you think of our servicemen?
Oh, I like them. The enlisted men have the vitality, and the officers have the experience.
What about the generals?
Oh, generally speaking, I love the generals. But I have one favorite general.
Who's that?
General Motors.
Well, you know, Mae, this is our special Christmas show. What about Christmas itself? Do you have Santa Claus at your house?
Oh, you mean the guy that comes down my chimney? I never keep any man out of my house.
And the Christmas spirit, do you feel that?
Do I feel it? Oh, I feel it all year.
And what about a Christmas message for the men listening?
I always have a message for men. Of course, it isn't always a Christmas message.
Well, how about this Christmas?
This Christmas, I want to wish each and every man listening to my voice a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I hope you'll soon be home with your loved ones. And if you don't have a loved one, come up and see me sometime. Anytime. Tell your fortune.
Thank you very much, Miss Mae West.
Mae West in 1972, then in her late 70s. And perhaps the key to her eternal youth could just lie in this typical piece of Mae philosophy.
You cry for it, you sigh for it. In good King Arthur's time, they used to die for it. But when you get it, do you regret it? Well, some girls do, but not me. It's often stated, it's overrated. A pleasure that grows tired once it's educated. It may be risky when it gets too frisky, but if you got some to spare, think of me. Oh, waiter, give me a couple of hard-boiled men on toast and make it a real big portion, 'cause I'm a greedy gal. You crave for it, you save for it, behave in weird and most peculiar ways for it. But it's a pleasure when it's made to measure. And if you like that in French, so would I. Now my psychiatrist, Professor Zimmerman, said, Mae, you gotta keep it to a minimum. I said, quit your talking, as long as I'm still walking, that's good enough for me. Now some girls, when they go to bed, occupy their minds with a book. But when I get ready to retire, say, do I need books? Are you kidding? We lose our heads for it, get in the red for it. We glamour girls in Hollywood get wet for it. So come what may, it's here to stay. Love is the greatest thing.
Goodness had nothing to do with it. A tribute to Mae West was produced by Kathy Delmain and narrated by John West.
Oh, what's that, honey? Oh, you want to know the best way to hold a man? The best way to hold a man is in your arms. Yeah. Like I always say, it's not the men in your life that counts. It's the life in your men. I'm gonna tell you a story every girl ought to know. Now, if you want a little loving, you gotta start real slow. He's gonna love you tonight if you just treat him right. Oh, squeeze him real jump. You gotta make him feel good. Tell him that you love him like you really should. And if you don't treat him right, he won't love you tonight. I always practice my method just as hard as I can. That's why I got a reputation as a loving gal. And I'm glad every night that I treated him right. Hey, 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 hey! Oh, yeah. Treat him right. Every night. Every night.
ABC Radio 1, Eastern Summertime, 9 o'clock.